Assalamu alaikum. I am Dr. Muhammad Nahid Salman, Assistant Professor of Department of Physiology of Ad-Din Akis Medical College, Khulna. Today I will discuss about the mechanism of transport process of sodium ion. At first, we will draw typical diagram of a nephron. Here is that diagram. From this diagram, what are the informations we can get? As you know, there are two parts of a typical nephron. First one is renal corpuscle and the second one is renal tubules. Renal corpuscle includes glomerulus and the Bowman's capsule, and renal tubules includes the various parts of renal tubules. Later I will show you in this diagram. Now, what are the parts of this diagram? This is the glomerulus and this portion is the Bowman's capsule, and this convoluted part is named as proximal convoluted tubule as it is situated proximal to the Bowman's capsule. Now, this portion is named as loop of Henle, and upper portion of the loop of Henle is named the thick portion of the loop of Henle. That means this portion is called thick portion of loop of Henle, or you can tell it the descending limb of loop of Henle's thick portion, and then the thin portion, and then the ascending limb of loop of Henle. And ascending limb of loop of Henle has also two portion or segments. First one is thin segment and then the thick segments, and then the starting of the distal convoluted tubule, and then collecting tubule, and then collecting duct. So, before starting about the main transport mechanism of sodium reabsorption, we will discuss about how much amount of sodium is reabsorbed in which portion of the renal tubules. So, at first, from where the sodium ion is reabsorbed? Sodium ion is reabsorbed from the proximal convoluted tubule, thick segment of the ascending limb of loop of Henle, distal convoluted tubule, collecting tubule, and then collecting duct. From these segments of the renal tubules, sodium ion is reabsorbed. Now we have to know about how much amount of sodium reabsorbed from these segments. From the proximal convoluted tubule, about 60% of the sodium is reabsorbed. It is about 60%. And from the thick segment of ascending limb of loop of Henle, it is about 30%. So, 30% of the total tubular load of sodium ion is reabsorbed from the thick segment of ascending limb of loop of Henle. Now, how much amount of sodium reabsorbed from the distal convoluted tubule? It is almost about 7%. And from the collecting tubule and collecting duct, it is about 3%. Now we will sum it all the percentage, and you can get it is about 100%, 60%, 30% here, and 7% and 3% from there. Now we will discuss about the technique, about the mechanism process by which sodium is reabsorbed from renal tubules into the capillaries. If we cross section this renal tubular portion here and enlarge it in another diagram, what can we show? After cross-sectioning the renal tubular segment, this diagram we can get. This is the lumen renal tubular portion, and this is the capillary is named as peritubular capillary as it is situated around the tubules, and in between a thin space is situated. This space is called interstitial space. So, what are the information we can get from this diagram? In the segment of renal tubules, there is a lumen, and the surface of a renal tubular epithelial cell attached with the lumen is called luminal surface, and the surface rest upon the basement membrane is called basal surface. So we can tell each and every renal tubular epithelial has two surfaces. First one is apical surface or luminal surface, and the second one is basal surface, which rests upon the basal membrane, and this segment or this portion is called lumen. And then comes the interstitial space, which is situated in between the renal tubules and the peritubular capillary, and this one the peritubular capillary system. So for better understanding of the transport process of sodium ion, we have to know to where the sodium ions will go. At first, sodium ions comes from the Bowman's capsule with the filtrate, glomerular filtrate, into the lumen. Now from the lumen, sodium ion will go from here to here. That means from the lumen it will enters into the renal tubular epithelial cells, and from the renal tubular epithelial cells, where it will go? It will go into the interstitiums. So we can tell sodium ion comes into the lumen from glomerular filtrate, and then it will go from the tubular lumen into the renal tubular epithelial cell, and from the renal tubular epithelial cell it will go into the interstitium, which is situated in between the renal peritubular capillary and the renal tubules, and then this sodium ion will travel into the capillary system, and then the ultimate journey will be the end. So sodium ion at first will go from the tubular lumen into the renal tubular epithelial cell, and the renal tubular epithelial cell to the renal interstitium, and from the renal interstitium it will go into the capillary system, that is peritubular capillary. In the whole process of the sodium ion reabsorption mechanism, there are several steps. First steps from here to here, and the second step is from here to interstitium, and the third stage is interstitium to capillary. So by which process sodium ion will enter into the renal tubular epithelial cells? There are 3 or 4 transport process. In the proximal convoluted tubule, sodium ion travels from the tubular lumen into the tubular epithelial cells by 3 mechanisms. First one is sodium hydrogen counter transport, second one is sodium glucose co-transport, and the third one is sodium amino acid co-transport. As you know from the earlier discussion, it is about 60% of the total tubular load of sodium ions. So 60% of the sodium ion is reabsorbed from the tubular lumen into the tubular epithelial cells by only 3 mechanisms. First one is sodium hydrogen counter transport, second one is sodium glucose co-transport, and the third one is sodium amino acid co-transport. From the name we can tell all these 3 mechanisms are secondary active transport process, and there are 2 types of secondary active transport process. First one is counter transport, and later 2 are co-transport. In counter and co-transport, sodium ion will travel along the concentration gradient, and hydrogen ion or glucose or amino acid will go against the concentration gradient, and this gradient will be constructed or will be established by the sodium potassium ATPase pump at the basolateral surface of renal tubular epithelial cells. That is one kind of primary active transport process. And now from the renal tubular epithelial cells into the interstitium, how can it will travel? By the sodium potassium ATPase pump. It is a form of primary active transport process. Why we call it as primary active transport process? As because sodium and potassium will travel against the concentration gradient, and the constituents will move upwards or we can call it uphill movement, and there is clear expenditure of energy, and a carrier protein or pump protein will be needed. So, for these reasons, we can call it a primary active transport process. And then we have to know about in which process sodium will travel from the interstitium into the peritubular capillaries. It is called ultrafiltration. Ultrafiltration is one kind of passive process, and this driving force of the sodium ion will be formed by the colloid osmotic pressure and the hydrostatic pressure gradient. This is the end of sodium transport process from the proximal convoluted tubule. Now we will come to the second portion, that is thick segment of the ascending limb of loop of Henle. You already know that about 30% of sodium load is reabsorbed from the thick segment of ascending limb of loop of Henle. Now we have to know which mechanism is involved here. This transport process includes 1 sodium, 1 potassium and 2 chloride ion will be transported from the lumen into the renal tubular epithelial cells in same direction. That's why it is called the co-transport mechanism. And in the same manner, from the tubular epithelial cell into the interstitium, it will go by the process of sodium potassium ATPase pump through the basolateral surface, and from the interstitium into the capillary transport mechanism is named as ultrafiltration. Now the third segment of the renal tubular tubules, that is distal convoluted tubule. About 7% of total tubular load of sodium ion is reabsorbed from here. Now we have to know in which mechanisms sodium ion is reabsorbed. The mechanism involved here is named as sodium chloride co-transport. And then the fourth segment is collecting tubule and collecting duct, and it is about 3% of total tubular load of sodium ion. Here is a special mechanism is involved, that is enoch channels. Enoch channels means enoch channels is a specialized channel which is responsible for the movement of sodium ion, and in these enoch channels there are 2 mechanisms are involved, that is sodium hydrogen exchange and sodium potassium exchange mechanisms. And this is all for the sodium transport from renal tubular lumen into the ultimate destination of lumen of peritubular capillaries. This is all for today. Thank you all for having patience. In our next class, we will discuss about the transport process of water.